Why don't you roll us in and do Greater Edmonton?
All right, good morning, everyone. How's everyone feeling this Sunday morning? It is Sunday, right? It's all been a bit of a blur. My name is Dick Founder. I'm here with
LeGrand Mort.
And we're going to be at your mouths for this game. So this morning we have the Rose City Rollers, Rosebuds, up against Greater Edmonton Junior Roller Derby Association All-Stars. We gotta work on a shorter name for them, but anyway, for Edmonton today skating, we've got number 007 James Blonde, 11.3 or 113 P.O.'d Pippi, number 13 Scream Soda, 01 Cookies and Scream, 23 Energizer Bunny, 24 Lemon Drop, 428 Kenny Chaos, 45 Ridiculous, 506 Molly Hatchet, 666 Shelly Helly, number 75 Genosaurus Rex, number 89 M-Ski Hammer, 911 White Poison, and MM9 Morgan Mayhem.
And for the ladies in purple from Portland, the Rose City Roller Rosebuds, we have 17 Jesus Feist, 1701 Kai Juke, number 208 is Small Fox, 22 is Irreverent Pixie, 50 is Bratmobile, 6 is Mackie Kennedy, 626 is Witchespedia, 711 Wendy Go Kill 'em, 76 King Doom Hearts, 777 Rolls Mary's Baby, 80 is Tempest Fugit, 89 is Big Mac, 96 is Payne Forest, and 97 is Root of All Evil. Give it up for the Rosebuds. Looks like we're getting set up here.
I apologize if I start talking like a auctioneer, as I got 2 extra shots of my coffee this morning.
Starting for the Rosebud, that is Kai Juke, number 1701.
Up against number 45, Ridiculous, for Edmonton. That's a pretty color combination. Pink and purple really goes well. As we've got Ridiculous trying to make her way on the outside, taking a bit of a knee in the pack as Kai Juke fights her way past that pink wall, and Kai Juke first through to get a lead jam.
Ridiculous still having a tough time there in the back of the pack. Got recycled back up against a 2 wall right now. Looking for that inside line. Root of All Evil drops her in turn 3. It's going to bring her back all the way to the back of the pack.
And in the meantime, Kai Juke making her way through. Big 5 points for Road City. Grand Slam for Kai Juke.
That's a natural Grand Slam as Ridiculous breaks on through for her initial pass. Root of All Evil looking to screen right now. But Kai Juke says, I'm going to take the outside line instead.
There we go, Kai Juke following the lead of her bench, getting through, picking up 3 more points, calling it off before Ridiculous could make it to the back of the pack.
100% differential going to Rose City right now, but it's just the first jam of the game.
Now we've got Lemon Drop out there against
Witchespedia, number 626 for the Rosebuds.
You know, a bit of a tentative start by both jammers, and then they both hit those walls trying to push their way through.
Wikispedia taking a tumble in the back with both jammers right out of turn 1. But as Lemon Drop trades the previous lead jam for a power jam as Wikispedia heads to the box for a cut track penalty.
All right, Edmonton trying to clear the way and clear that pack, not employing just the passive defense. Lemon Drop getting a bit of a whip off the shirt of Kenny Chaos, making it through, and 5 big points for the Edmonton Juniors.
And Dick, we love to see those whips, even when they're self-whips. There she goes again, unafraid to use her teammate's jersey to gain position. Still having a tough time passing the middle of the pack. That is Big Mac with the backward skate intimidation block. Rosemary's Baby going to pick up a low block and going to head to the box, giving a 1 blocker advantage as well as the power start to Morgan Mayhem.
So watching Morgan Mayhem called a couple of their games already, and she had a tentative start to the the entire Edmonton team had a tentative start to the weekend, but once they got their feet into them, now they're not coming across on the scoreboard the way they want. They haven't won a game, but they've been fighting. Yesterday they kept it, I believe, within 10 points against the 15th ranked team. Currently Edmonton is ranked 50th or 60th. One of the two. I had that written down at one point, but they're coming down here and making a splash, doing a really good job. So.
And it is changing as we speak. You know, the Rosebuds have been a highly ranked team for a good long time. They were no slouch. Edmonton certainly coming in. First couple of jams here. Now they've got a point lead. They're sitting in an opportunity for a power start. They made good work of their opportunity for their power jam. So this is looking very positive for the ladies in pink.
Yeah, definitely. And Morgan Mayhem is a strong skater, and with someone like Shelly Helly out there, she has the ability to clear 2-3 skaters at a time. So she practices with some of the adults on a regular basis up in Edmonton, taking the hits and getting used to it. Still has a couple years before she ages out of juniors, but when she does, look out.
Morgan Mayhem looking for that outside line, gets slowed down by a 2-wall. Looks like Tempest Fugit up there.
So Morgan Mayhem trying to get some help from her teammates. We're going back to 2010. They're trying to get a goat as Morgan Mayhem pushes up the front of that pack, trying to drive and get that out of play call. Oh, and she does make it through, and it looked like Witchespedia comes out of the pack, out of the box. Come in a little bit too hot, gets a back block major, and is right back to the box. So 1 minute or less as Morgan Mayhem picks up 5 more points.
This is exactly what you got to do as roller derby. When these opportunities present themselves, make the most of them as you can. Tempest Fugit like a one-woman wrecking crew in the front, but not able to hold her. Morgan Mayhem picking up another 5 points as Tempest Fugit heads to the box. That's going to be real painful on the blocking staff of the Rosebuds.
Just as she hits the block, Rosemary's Baby heads out, and so still a 4-on-3 pack advantage for Edmonton as Morgan Mayhem continues to rack up the points on this power jam.
Seems not to be slowing her down very much. Morgan Mayhem, 15 points so far, looking for that 20.
Rosemary Baby with a nice hit to the outside, but did not drop back, allowing Morgan Mayhem to just get right back up and keep going.
Morgan Mayhem slowing it down to make sure she doesn't pick up that back block penalty that plagues Wikispedia.
Morgan Mayhem through with 5 more points. Wikispedia still on her initial pass. And we have Shelly Helly heading to the penalty box. I missed the call. And that was the full 2 minutes.
25 big points for Morgan Mayhem. Huge jam for Edmonton.
Now we're going to have Ridiculous for Edmonton up against Jesus Feist, number 17 for the Rosebuds.
Rosebuds haven't gotten the chance to get very deep into their jammer roster yet with those penalties, so...
Genosaurus Rex laying a shoulder into Jesus Feist, dropping back, recycling her to the back as Ridiculous does a spin move and makes it through, but Jesus Feist getting the jammer chase, getting out front.
Dick, this is what I love about Junior Derby. Look at how fast these jammers are going. Look at how active that pack is. Tempest Fugit, Root of All Evil, doing the 1-2 punch in the front. Meanwhile, Jesus Feist just coming around, able to slow down Ridiculous, but man, she was going fast.
Yeah, she was, and a bit of a disadvantage for Edmonton on that, as they had 2 in the box and 1 sent off. So they were sitting there with the 1 blocker, which was very easy for Jesus Feist to make her way around that blocker. And then, of course, with 3 blockers for Rose City, Ridiculous had a little bit of trouble getting through. We had a 4-2 advantage on that for the Rosebuds.
So yeah, absolutely not a big differential. And that is, but speaking of big, that is Big Mac up against Lemon Drop, who just pulled out lead jammer. Big Mac, Portland having trouble right now. Penalties, back block assigned to Big Mac. This is another opportunity for Edmonton. And the Edmonton crowd is just loving this.
Lemon Drop through with another 5 big points for Edmonton, bringing it up to 42-12 so far with just about 7 minutes into this game. Lemon Drop spinning off that hit, and 5 more. We got Genosaurus Rex was in queue for the penalty box for a high block. So the penalty box empties out. She heads over there and takes a seat for 1 minute. Nice job by Lemon Drop to jump and avoid that hit, picking up another 5 points.
That was Bratmobile with that swing and miss.
Shelly Haley clearing out the outside line for Lemon Drop.
King Doom Hearts just trying to hold her in the front, not able to complete. They've got 4 blockers to 2. Edmonton doing a great job making a mess and clearing it up. Bratmobile looking to take it, can't get a hold of her. The Irreverent Pixie, no contest. Lemon Drop, 5 more in the sky.
Their Lemon Drop's going to hit it, because this is the initial pass for Big Mac. So Lemon Drop making it through, taking a bit of a stumble, hitting those hips and calling off. 30-point jam for Lemon Drop.
And it is just big jam after big jam, and then unsurprisingly there's going to be a timeout on the Rosebuds. I think that we were sort of expecting this. Gives us a chance to thank some of our sponsors. Sure Grip, the world's leading maker in wheels and plates. It's skate technology for recreational and roller derby skates. Check out Sure Grip here today, and also online at www.suregrip.com. We'd also like to thank Pivot Star apparel and accessories for all the things that you want to be when you are in Derby. Check out their sweatshirts and other accessories at www.pivotstar.com. They also are now making uniforms, and their uniforms are made out of fabric that does not snag on Velcro, which is exactly what you want when you're in roller derby. So check out their new uniforms at pivotstar.com.
So I'm glad you got the uniforms, because I know Lulu's been really pushing them. A lot of girls are picking up those uniforms, and I know I wish they were making men's uniforms, because the Velcro pilling that I have on all my shirts is horrible. All right, here we go. We've got Molly Hatchet up against Big Mac for this jam. Molly Hatchet for Edmonton, Big Mac for the Rosebuds. Oh, sorry, Tempest Fugit, pardon me. The scoreboard hadn't updated yet.
That's all right.
And now what we got, we have a 3-on-2 pack advantage. Molly Hatchet getting in Tempest Fugit's way, trying to slow her down, but then gets caught up behind Wendigo Killam, and Tempest Fugit makes it out for lead jam.
And what we saw there is we saw a much more tentative pack start, and I think that had a lot to do with that timeout of, hey, things are getting a little loose. It's not going our direction, so maybe we should play a little bit more conservatively.
Yeah, definitely. They were running into a bit of penalty trouble with some back blocks and such, so want to make sure, calm the girls down. Quick, hit it and quit it, 4 big points. I say big because that hit it and quit it can get you ahead really quickly. If you're not getting the power jams or the penalties going your way, if you can get lead jam and just make it through, then that's going to help you out.
That's all. That's just like in football, where football is won 3 yards at a time. Sometimes Derby is won 4 points at a time. Jesus Feist breaking on through. But there's now a track cleared entirely of Rosebud blockers. So Jesus Feist finds herself in the penalty box for a forearm, leaving it wide open for Ridiculous with no opposition for a moment. I think we have 2 Rosebuds sitting in queue with 2 Rosebud blockers sitting in the box. Not boding well defensively. Ridiculous 9 points so far. And a forearm now called on Ridiculous, so we will have a jammer switch out. I think Jesus Feist has served the majority of her penalty, so Ridiculous will have to serve the majority as well.
I think I'm going to stop talking about penalties because as soon as I said, they got to calm them down and stop getting penalties, then they start getting lots of penalties. It looks like we're going to have a bit of a jammerless jam for a while as Jesus Feist goes and sits in the box for illegal entry.
Just explain on how you always have to sit a certain penalty.
All right, so we have Ridiculous coming out of the box as we work on a mic switch out with the batteries. With the jammerless jam, is the jammer goes in and has to sit the same amount of time when the other one. Screw it, I'm not going to explain it. I could explain it, but my head's filled with caffeine and the game's about to start and people are handing me pieces of paper. I'm supposed to announce that there will be a WFTDA rep cert test at 11 a.m. in the Eagle's Nest. That is a WFTDA rep cert test at 11 a.m. in the Eagle's Nest. So if you want to write that test to get your certification for your WFTDA certification, go on over to the Eagle's Nest at 11 a.m.
And so we're going to start with the jammerless jam. What effectively happened is Ridiculous sat down, but she was sitting on a shortened penalty. Jesus Feist also sat down. But since Ridiculous was sitting on a shortened penalty, you always have to serve the time on a shortened penalty. So we started with Jesus Feist serving out the remainder of her penalty, so on and so forth. Here we go.
And Jesus Feist, of course, out of the box first after the blockers got to sit there and wait for them for a bit. Quick through, picking up lead, and now through on her scoring pass, 5 big points.
This has been a study in penalty calling so far this first period of this game.
Looks like she picks up 4 points on that pass. No penalty. She passed out of bounds on a player that was down, so she does not get a cut for that, but also does not get the point. They're still making up for it with 5 big points on that scoring pass.
Rosebuds looking to turn it around with this jam. Jesus Feist a good ways, but still 51 points separating the two teams. Make that 46. Ridiculous out of the penalty box. And 5-on-5 on the track.
What? We have an empty penalty box.
It did happen. I just wanted to call it while it was actually happening. 19 points for Rosebuds. That's more in the area that they want to be in. Try and take advantage of that opportunity. Looks like we're going to have Molly Hatchett against Kai Juke when we come back for Edmonton and Rose City, respectively.
All right, well, while the refs discuss their fashion sense, I'm going to take this opportunity to talk about Green Monster. Green Monster Sports. I'm not quite as good as this without the notes, but greenmonster.com with brands such as Antic Skate Boots, Moto Bearings, Heartless Wheels, Gumball. And here we go. We've, no, sorry, that's the whistle from the other track.
That has been a challenging thing for both the referees and for the players, is that with this two-track setup, you get a lot of cross-whistling happening back and forth. Sometimes it seems like your jam was called off, but it wasn't actually. It was the other side.
That's Molly Hatchet trying to push her way through, finding that hole on the inside and picking up lead jam, getting knocked back in and recycled.
There's a false start being called, and I'm not sure on who. Oh, it's Root of All Evil. Okay.
Well, Molly Hatchet keeps getting recycled to the back of the pack. And she did get through first, and there she is. Managed to slip that hit as we've got Kai Juke hitting the back of that pack. Kai Juke with a natural Grand Slam. Oh, no, we have two players in the box, but Grand Slam 5 big points for Kai Juke as Molly Hatchet hits on her scoring pass. Quick back in after getting knocked out. A little bit of a bean dip. Nice dog. Tempest Fugit giving her a hard time up at the front. Trying to spring herself. Kai Juke makes her way around once again, and Molly Hatchet calls off the jam.
So 4 more points for Greater Edmonton. 5-4 going in the Rosebuds direction. 9-4. That jam as they start to claw their way back up. 48-85, 15 minutes left in this first period.
And we've got Morgan Mayhem up against Irreverent Pixie.
This is Irreverent Pixie's first jam of the game. Morgan Mayhem obviously doing a great job, bringing up lots of points for Greater Edmonton so far, and picking up lead jammer here. Irreverent Pixie breaks the pack just about a third track behind.
Well, Morgan Mayhem hitting on her scoring pass, but Pixie not too far behind. Morgan Mayhem calls it off. 0-0 jam on that one. Smart move by Morgan Mayhem, though, with the lead. Time is on her side. Rather than allow the Rosebuds to pick up any points, she'll take the 0-0, not take the beating in the pack, and that way conserving her energy.
Especially since the box had just emptied out, so restarting, we're knowing where everybody's at. It's a good strategy at that point.
All right, some more 5-on-5 derby as we've got Jesus Feist for Rosebuds up against Lemon Drop for Edmonton.
Jesus Feist battling her way through the front of the pack, muscling to the lead jammer position. Lemon Drop having a hard time behind Wendy Go Kill 'Em.
Smacky Kennedy getting knocked out by Lemon Drop. A little bit of offensive jammer action hitting as Lemon Drop makes it through. Jesus Feist hot on her quads, trying to pick up that jammer point, giving her a bump and doing it. Lemon Drop not giving up though. She's just going to keep going. She's on her scoring pass now. Jesus Feist going through, possibly picking up a couple more points there. 6-0 jam for the Rosebuds. So it looks like, yeah, they're going to nickel and dime it and try to just chip away at that score and close this gap. Currently, Greater Edmonton 85, Rosebuds 54.
When we come back, that's going to be Big Mac number 89 against Genosaurus Rex 75.
Oh, Genosaurus Rex getting ridden out by Bratmobile, recycled to the back of the pack as Big Mac fights her way through the front of the pack, picking up lead jam. Genosaurus Rex now splitting that 2-wall the front. She's going to give chase, try to minimize the damage that Big Mac can do. Quick cut by Big Mac. She was coming around on the outside, saw the hole up the middle, quick through that hole, picking up 4 points and calling it off quickly.
And one blocker advantage for Greater Edmonton as Bratmobile heads to the box for direction of play penalty.
So now we have Morgan Mayhem up against Tempest Fugit.
And that is a crowded jammer line, Dick.
Oh, it certainly is. That's the scrum starts, the rugby starts. Makes it tough. You got to get through your own players who are trying to stop the other jammer and the opposing players. And Morgan Mayhem through with a nice little dodge on that hip check.
Tempest Fugit just holding on to that line in turn 3. Some very nice skating right there.
That was just dug right in. Was not going to let herself get pushed out, and got through to do her best to minimize what Morgan Mayhem can do. Morgan Mayhem calling it off with instructions from the bench. 3-3 jam.
Yeah, I'm surprised there's not grooves right there in that, right by that line. Turned her wheels into ice skates for a moment.
Edges are important, folks.
Edges are important. That is something Gotham will tell you over and over again. Edges, edges, edges. Jesus Feist up against Lemon Drop for Rose City and Greater Edmonton, respectively. Jesus Feist ducking just out of turn 1, gets her that lead jammer, but Lemon Drop not far behind, just about a quarter track. Both defenses sussing themselves out. Big Mac looking to make a hole. Does a good job bumping it up a little bit, getting up 4 and holding Greater Edmonton 2-0.
That was a nice little hop, skip, and a jump from Jesus Feist there. Just a quick through, and then picking up those 4 points, calling it off. Closing that gap, we've now got 23 points between these teams. 88 for Greater Edmonton, 65 for the Rosebuds.
That nickel and dime strategy that you talked about earlier, that is paying off. Staying out of the box pays off too. Root of all evil. I think it's her first jam tonight. Done a lot of defensive work. Breaking through Molly Hatchet. Having a tough time behind that wall of purple. Tempest Fugit up there.
So I'm liking what the Rosebuds are doing too. They're not sticking like to a 2, 3, 4 jammer rotation. They're throwing in quite a few different jammers just to try to mix things up a bit. And King Doom of Hearts getting sent for that clockwise on Molly Hatchet. Oh, and it looks like Root of All Evil picking up the cut track. That's going to give Molly Hatchet the power jam. This is her initial pass, though, so she is. There will be some points reserved for Root of All Evil, I believe, once she gets out of her box. And let's see what Molly Hatchet can do on this power jam.
And Greater Edmonton have been so very effective in taking advantage of these power opportunities. Bratmobile headed to the box, so providing one less blocker to slow down Molly Hatchet.
Yeah, 4-on-2 blocker advantage for Edmonton. Molly Hatchet, tentative approach to that as she looks for her teammates to clear that hole. They do, and picks up another big 5 points for Edmonton.
It's really nice what the Edmonton is doing, and coming into the pack. From time to time they slow, but then they start, so that messes up the pack a bit, allows her to get a hole to break on through. It's been very effective for them with this another 5 points.
Yeah, now we've got one of the Rosebuds blockers out there, so now it's a 4-on-3 pack advantage as Shelly Helly comes in, tries to, oh sorry, that wasn't Shelly Helly, it was Janosaurus Rex. Comes through and clears the inside, and I believe that was the full 2 minutes, was it not?
And Greater Edmonton breaking the century mark, now sitting at 103-68. That 15-point to 3-point jam, again, very effective when they have those opportunities. Both jammers on the line, and even advantage for blockers, 1-1 in the box. Big Mac, Morgan Mayhem.
Big Mac just powering her way through. But no, she gets called for the back block and gets sent to the box. So that means Morgan Mayhem with lead jam and a power jam looking to possibly open up this gap a little bit more with a little bit under 7 minutes left to go in this first half. Rosebuds doing a nice job of speeding up that pack and make it a little bit harder for Edmonton to clear the way of those 4 blockers to get Morgan Mayhem through.
Bratmobile doing a good job as a reinforcement. They've now made a lap around the track, and Morgan Mayhem has not been able to clear the pack on this scoring pass. Jesus Feist she almost got through, but Jesus Feist dropped her right before turn 1.
Rosebud's doing a great job there of recycling and re-engaging. Every time Morgan Mayhem thinks she's only got 2 players to contend with, the other 2 blockers are right back up there, and she's got a 4-wall.
This is an incredible penalty kill right now. It's now been 3 laps around without the ability to break the pack on this scoring pass. That may end right here. Jesus Feist, the last line of defense, biggest bridge in the world, but even the biggest bridge has got to end sometime.
And they managed to kill pretty much a full minute on that. Only allowed 5 points on the power jam, as they killed that full minute, allowing Big Mac to come back out of the penalty box. But Morgan Mayhem right through, picking up another 5 big points for Edmonton.
Genosaurus Rex doing a great job at the back of the pack. She pulled the back block initially on Big Mac, and then right there she recycled Big Mac again. Not easy to slow down, but doing great work defensively for Greater Edmonton.
And there Morgan Mayhem pushes through, picks up another 3 points. Big Mac was on her scoring pass, so Morgan Mayhem calls it off. 16-0 jam on that, but as we were saying, the fantastic defense by the Rosebuds. 5-point power jam held her for a full minute. That's just incredible.
When we come back, it's going to be Tempest Fugit lining up against Lemon Drop for Rosebuds and Greater Edmonton, respectively. Lemon Drop first to get to the front. Tempest Fugit having a tough time behind Shelly Helly. And that is Lemon Drop breaking through first, and Tempest Fugit getting down low to try to catch up and put that pressure on. There will be no easy points. Tempest Fugit, speed paid off. First to break that pack, and it is Wendy Go Kill 'Em slowing down Lemon Drop right there at the front. I imagine it's going to happen as Wendy Go Kill 'Em's going to pick up a low block. She fell down in front of Lemon Drop, and Lemon Drop fell over her. It's pretty much no way to not pick up a low block that way.
Yeah, and then Lemon Drop did pick up 4 points on that before she called it off. Probably a really good move for her to call it off, as Tempest Fugit just coming around with speed, about to hit that pack again and try to take the advantage away in points.
We have Genosaurus Rex up against Jesus Feist.
That was a nice big hip check on Jesus Feist, knocking her to the outside.
I think it was an Energizer Bunny doing a great. Oh, but Genosaurus Rex picks up a cut track, and Jesus Feist immediately calls off the jam, and then she wants to go back to the line. I don't think that she maybe meant to do that. She was sort of smiling.
So quick 0-0 jam. We're going to start this one off with the power jam. As you said, Jesus Feist called that off.
Uh-oh. Could it be? Could it be? Pivot line love. Pivot line love.
I've been seeing a lot of pivot line love this weekend. It's actually refreshing. Give the jammer a little bit more time to get up front, figuring out where that hole is, and Jesus Feist through quickly around the outside on turn 1 to pick up lead jam.
Shelly Helly, last line of defense. Jesus Feist now on a scoring pass, looking to get back some of these points the Rosebuds have let go.
A really nice job by Jesus Feist there, fighting off another hit by Shelly Helly. Shelly Helly threw in that hip, and Again, edges are important. She held that line and stayed in, making the 5 points as she comes around once more, and another grand slam for the Rosebuds.
The Rosebuds have done this multiple times now this game. They've been down a lot and clawed their way back, but never quite enough before they get themselves in the box. It's going to be very important to talk about penalties as this halftime comes up.
Shelly Helly, last skater to beat. Shelly Helly has to back off as she gets through past that 20 feet or the 6 meter rule in Canada.
Genosaurus Rex. There's some fans of the metric system right there.
Us Canadians like to stick together. And we got Morgan Mayhem up against Reverend Pixie. Oh, we got an official challenge by Edmonton,
which gives us a chance to thank some of our skaters. We'd like to thank Smack Shack. Smack Shack, your official roller derby store in Tacoma, selling skates, bearings, wheels, pads, and accessories. Go check out Smack Shack at smackshack.net.
So I know all our competitors and all the skate.
We'd also like to thank Crazy Skates. Crazy Skates dedicated to new technology for the skater with skate boots and plates with wheels and toe stops that you're going to want to check out. Crazy Skates, the maker of the Apollo plate and the Venus. The Venus comes in multiple colors and is lightweight and super durable. Go check out Crazy Skates at crazyskates.com.
Okay, the official challenge has to do with scorekeeping. Coach Lime for Greater Edmonton feels there were 5 extra points awarded to the Rosebuds, so they're going to go and they're going to take a look and recalculate the points and see if there was an error. And we'll find out what happens after that. So we have the jam refs over here conferring with the NSOs. A big thanks actually to all the refs this weekend. They've been doing a really good job keeping the games flowing and keeping the skaters safe. But the other thing that I want to thank them for is they've been actually really accommodating to the announcers, making sure that we know what's going on, so that we can tell our audience here as well as our viewing audience at home. And I'm going to give a bit of a shout out to my girls. I missed giving this shout out last night, but I understand the Rocky View Roller Derby Rebels of Rocky View had a viewing party last night. I miss you girls. Chickadee, I got your text. We'll figure out the practice thing on Monday.
And once the coach is informed of the result of that, we'll let you know. And that has happened, and the result is that the score will stand. And when we come back, it's going to be Morgan Mayhem up against the Irreverent Pixie. There are several pixies that I have met in my life, but this is the most irreverent one.
I love the names the juniors come up with. It's most of them are really, really clever, and they don't push the boundaries as adult skaters usually do. And we're going to go Morgan Mayhem up against that wall of purple up front, almost pushing through it, and then tripping up. Pixie almost making it through, taking a hip check. I believe that was Genosaurus Rex throwing the hip in there. Her and Shelly Helly doing a nice job of the defense. Morgan Mayhem coming in, stepping in just before the root of all evil got her hips back, trying to force that cut. And as I said that, Shelly Ellie gets the hip back in time to draw the cut on Ill Reverend Pixie. Morgan Mayhem going on the power jam.
And we just talked about this, the jam before. Rose City comes back, nickeling their way back, gets a big jam, seems to be closing a gap, and then opens up the door. And they've done it here again for Greater Edmonton with a big power jam opportunity. Edmonton got a good amount of time left in this jam to pick up many points, turning a nickel right now.
And there we go, Morgan Mayhem making it past that last blocker, picking up 5 points for the Greater Edmonton Junior Derby Association All-Stars.
I don't know what the shaky hands means over the head, but let me tell you, it seems to be working for her.
Yeah, I thought it might have been jazz hands, but it's definitely a signal to her blockers, because every time she does it, she manages to get the clear. 5 more points for Morgan Mayhem.
Great work right now. This is exactly what you need to do, especially at the end of this period.
There, Reverend Pixie out of the box and through. That's her initial pass. Morgan Mayhem getting knocked out, knowing that Pixie's out, and calls off the jam. And that, folks, is halftime. We do not have a half-hour break in between.
That would be too long.
A half hour. You can go nap, Lime.
Yeah,
10 minutes.
Go get something to eat. Hang out. Take a nap.
All right. Well, we'll see you back in about 10 minutes. All right, we're just getting ready to start the second half. We're going to roll through these names once again. So for the Rosebuds today, we've got number 17, Jesus Feist, 1701, Kai Juke, 208, Small Fox, 22, The Irreverent Pixie, number 50, Bratmobile, number 6, Smacky Kennedy, 626, Witchy Speedia, 711, Wendigo Killam, 76, King Doom of Hearts, 777, Roll Mary's Baby, number 80, Tempest Fugit, 89, Big Mac, 96, Pain Forest, 97, A Root of All Evil.
And for the Greater Edmonton Junior Roller Derby Association, GEJRDA All-Stars, I got all those letters, I think, 007, James Blonde, 11.3, P.O.'d Pippi, 13, Scream Soda, 01, Cookies and Scream, 23 is Energizer Bunny, 24 is Lemon Drop, 428 is Kenny Chaos, 45 is Ridiculous, 506 Molly Hatchet, 666 is Shelly Helly, 75 is Genosaurus Rex, 89 is Emski Hammer, 911 is White Poison, and MM9 is Morgan Mayhem. Speaking of which, we have Lemon Drop and Kai Juke lining up for the first jam of this period. Ridiculous sitting in the box, I believe the only player in the box right now, so almost a full complement of skaters on the track.
All right, and folks, don't forget to go head over to the merch table and enter to win a RollerCon and a Junior RollerCon MVP admission. The drawing will be at noon today. Tickets are a low price of $2. That's $2 American, though. Don't give them a toonie. It won't work.
We don't even know what those are here. We have no idea.
I actually tried to pay for my coffee the other morning with a toonie, and they just kind of looked at me, and I'm like, oh, yeah, American money, sorry.
That to us is just like making sure the top string of your guitar is making the right noise, the tune E.
All right, here we go. Lemon Drop and Kai Juke both trying to fight their way through the respective walls of their opposing team. Lemon drop getting knocked to the inside. A recycle to the back as Kai Juk makes it through for lead jam.
Shelly Helly trying to get her out. I see that Shelly Helly really likes going right to the end of that engagement zone. She's been pretty effective. Not able to catch her there, but definitely nice to see that sort of commitment. Shelly Helly showing that again with Kai Juk and a spin, shaking off those big hips from Shelly Helly.
Yeah, Shelly Helly likes to push the envelope on a number of things with the hits and, yeah, stretching out that 20 feet. Yeah. She's got pretty good awareness and knows when to stop most of the time.
Yeah, I feel that she has not made many trips to the box, which is indicative of somebody that knows their limits. So that is 5 points, 5 natural points by Kai Juk, as Lemon Drop just having a tough time with this Rosebud defense. Clearly, some work has been done defensively in the locker room.
And it looks like we got Ridiculous out of the box just as Genosaurus Rex goes and has a seat. Both jammers out. We got a bit of a jammer race now, as Kai Juk picked up 4 points on that scoring pass. Sees Lemon Drop approaching for her first scoring pass and quickly calls off the jam.
And now the Rosebuds breaking that century mark, sitting at 101 to 143. 42 points now just separating the two teams.
And so it looks like we'll have Jesus Feist up against Molly Hatchet. Molly Hatchet for Greater Edmonton. Jesus Feist for the Rosebuds. Jesus Feist just powering her way through that pack, knocking down skaters as she goes, makes her way through and picks up a lead jammer.
Meanwhile, Genosaurus Rex has left the box and was part of what made it hard for Jesus Feist to make it through. Molly Hatchet breaking the pack on her initial pass. Nice screen right now. That was Smacky Kennedy making sure that inside line was clear.
Jesus Feist, nice little turn, some backwards skating to see where Molly Hatchet was. Saw she was approaching the back of the pack, and so tapped those hips frantically just before she got hit by Shelly Helly. Or was about to get hit by Shelly Helly, I should say. Shelly Helly backed off, no hitting after the whistle.
Which is enough to make anybody want to call it off. And looks like we're going to get some pivot line love with Morgan Mayhem and Root of All Evil on the line. Root of All Evil takes the high row. Morgan Mayhem takes the low. She's going to pick up the lead jammer before her. Root of All Evil still having a tough time now, recycled by Genosaurus Rex. Genosaurus Rex just a monster in the back of that pack so far.
Genosaurus Rex is another one of the Edmonton skaters who will practice with the adults just to hone her skills.
I thought you were going to say to help the adults, because...
Well, she does do that as well. Morgan Mayhem got kind of stuck in that pack. Did pick up 4 points, but was not able to clear it. And Root of All Evil had cleared on her initial pass, so she calls off the jam.
Tempest Fugit going back to the line for the Rosebuds, and Lemon Drop for Greater Edmonton.
Lemon Drop trying to find that line right up the middle, getting stuck in a swarm of purple, allowing Tempest Fugit to get through and get right low down in that speed skating stance and quick around the pack on her scoring pass. Spinorama move, 5 big points for the Rosebuds.
Tempest Fugit, obviously a very experienced skater. You can see in her stance and her confidence on her skates, and no matter what position that they're in.
Looks like Lemon Drop picking up the cutting the track, a penalty going to sit for 1 minute or less. I think what happened there was she managed to come in behind the Rosebuds players, but she cut more than I believe it was actually 3 of her own players who had dropped back. Forgot to keep in mind that if they drop back, you can't come in front of them either, as Tempest Fugit gets through for another 5 big points on this power jam.
And see a stutter stop right there for Tempest Fugit, making sure that she doesn't pick up that back block. But she does pick up that extra grand slam, 5 more points for Tempest Fugit. She's got 20 points so far, is turning this into one of the best jams that the Rosebuds have had.
And with another 5 points, that gives us only a 17-point difference here. Greater Edmonton ahead, 147 to the Rosebuds, 130.
And that is a 30-point jam for Tempest Fugit.
Closing that gap to 12 points. That's, well, the way these power jams are, that's half a power jam. Or just some of that hit it and quit it, 3, maybe 4 jams. And they could tie this game up. It does look like Lemon Drop had picked up 2 points before she went to the box, so they're throwing those up now, 149 to 135.
And that's going to be Kai Juke up against Molly Hatchet. Kai Juke almost had some daylight there, but Genosaurus Rex made it a little bit harder for her. It's just not enough players to slow her down.
And Big Mac there giving Molly Hatchet a hard time, recycling her to the pack, but Big Mac is going to go to the box. I missed the call. I'd like to make the assumption that it was an out of play, but we all know what happens when we assume. And Molly Hatchet threw on her initial pass as Kai Juke jukes and picks up 4 big points.
So now at the end of this jam, I think if just going to make sure the scoreboard says what I'm going to say. Yep. Picks up 5 points, so 9 points separating the two teams.
Looks like the Rosebuds at halftime regrouped, doing a good job of just holding things there. They do have 2 blockers in the box. Greater Edmonton also with 2, so we got a bit of a micro pack with Morgan Mayhem up against Jesus Feist.
Morgan Mayhem looking to slow things down a bit, maybe to get Energizer Bunny out of the box. Multiplayer block being called right now on Rosemary's Baby.
Just as Pain Forest comes out of the box. Morgan Mayhem on that pass. Jesus Feist on her initial pass. Morgan Mayhem picks up 4 points and calls it off. I think we're going to see a lot more strategic, again, the nickeling diming by both teams. Rosebud's going to try to catch up and close that 13-point gap. Greater Edmonton going to try to widen that gap of 13 points, or at least hold it with about 22 minutes left in the game.
I think you're exactly right. One thing is for certain, no one's going to run away with this game, I think. Tempest Fugit up against Lemon Drop for Rosebuds and Greater Edmonton, respectively. A lot of whistles. I think there was some confusion, but Lemon Drop wasn't confused. She just made it like right on the outside. Tempest Fugit so very fast, closed that gap from like a full track to none, and then the rest of the Rosebuds have just kept this running. That was basically a speed skating class, is what that was.
Oh, that definitely was. I actually wasn't saying anything. My jaw was just hanging open watching that. Definitely, any of you skaters that are out there watching right now, that's what you want to do when you need to catch up to the other jammer. Get down low and just push. That was quite the lesson for any skater that's out there.
Not only that, but the Rosebud blockers catching on to that was what was going on, that they needed to run that pack and keeping that pack fast enough so she had the time.
It's a really good communication with both teams between blockers and jammers as Kai Juke makes it out there. She's up against Lemon Drop, and she got lead jam, and now she's hitting that pack for her scoring pass as Morgan Mayhem fights her way through. I'm sorry, I had said Lemon Drop. They hadn't updated the scoreboard yet. It's Morgan Mayhem out there. She just made it through on her initial pass. Kai Juke still trying to fight her way through those pink blockers, getting some help from her purple Rosebuds, taking a bump from Shelly Helly. Shelly Helly taking a bit of a spill, and Kai Juke taking advantage, picking up 4 points for the Rosebuds.
Now 140, 153, 20 minutes left in the game. Bratmobile, I believe this is her first jam tonight, up against Molly Hatchet. Like you said, the Rosebuds have an ability to just keep reaching into that jammer rotation. Very, very deep bench there.
Yeah, it seems they have their steady ones that they rotate through, but then it looks like if they need a break, they've got some others they can pull off the bench and throw it up. A bit of an update on the score that I hadn't posted yet. We've actually got an 11-point difference, 144 to 153, as Bratmobile makes her way through and picks up lead jam.
Molly Hatchet recycled back. That is Tempest Fugit keeping an eye on her positionally in the back of that pack. And now Bratmobile recycled back as well. Energizer Bunny and PO'd Pippi doing a good job. Bratmobile sees no joy in what was just about to happen. He's going to call off that jam. Good idea to reset. Picks up 4 points for herself. We now have just 5 points separating the two teams.
Shelly Helly out there for her first time jamming tonight. Now we watched Shelly Helly block, and she is a really effective blocker, and she's kind of one of those really forceful jammers. Really good to put her up against Jesus Feist, because she'll just plow her way through that pack, as you see there, and picks up lead. But Jesus Feist coming in with a bump, forcing Shelly Helly down, trying to get her recycled, but Shelly Helly right back up and going. She has lead. Jesus Feist is going to hit that pack first.
And Edmonton trying to run the pack as well, but unable to. Jesus Feist thinks that she got points. She did. Picks up 2.
Yeah, Shelly Helly got the instructions from Coach Lime on the sidelines from the bench, telling her to call it off, but Jesus Feist hit that pack a lot faster than what she expected to pick up those 2 points.
The lead has now been dropped to just 3 slender points in between the two teams. Greater Edmonton still in the lead, but it is Tempest Fugit and Lemon Drop at the line, and it is 5-on-5 roller derby. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise. I love it when all the skaters are on the track, Dick.
It seems to be getting confusing with all of that, as we have Tempest Fugit making her way through. Hot on her quad, so is Lemon Drop. It's going to be a jammer race. I see how Edmonton does. So Tempest Fugit finding a little bit of a hole. Shelly Helly coming out of... No, that wasn't Shelly Helly. That was Genosaurus Rex coming out of nowhere, knocking her out, but then forgetting to keep her eye on the prize. Always head on a swivel as Genosaurus Rex takes that hit to the inside just as the jam is called off.
So just 1 more point. So now 2 slender points separating the team. Root of All Evil head to the box. Pivot for the Rosebuds. Jesus Feist back at the line with Molly Hatchet, and there is a crowd on the jammer line.
Oh,
Molly Hatchet
finding that outside line and just tiptoeing around that pack, picking up lead jam. I believe that's actually her first lead jam of the night. Jesus Feist, though, again, we're seeing that speed skating come in from these Rosebuds, and just closing that gap, picking her way through. Both jammers picking up 4 points. Jesus Feist taking over and passing Molly Hatchet, and Molly Hatchet calling it off.
I am telling you, as far as speed skating goes, Jesus Feist has been unbeatable as far as speed on this track. That is what she's known for, and she's definitely showing why she's known for it here. We're going to be in an official timeout. Gives us a chance to thank Fingers Duke. Fingers Duke is a full-service graphic design and screen printing company. They enjoy hard projects, not just the easy ones, and really like getting in there. They also do web design, cover art, all sorts of things. You give them a challenge, they're going to rise to it. Check them out at fingersduke.com.
All right, back to that speed skating with Jesus Feist. Now I know Molly Hatchett. Like I've seen her since she first started skating, and I've watched her and helped her out. And I know she's been really developing her speed, and actually just recently set some new records for her league. And so I'm sure she is going to come out of this, and she's like, okay, I'm going to get that fast.
Absolutely, that's a great challenge to live up to. Genosaurus Rex breaks through his lead jammer, but Tempest Fugit not right behind her. Going to show us her own speed skating skills of taking Genosaurus out in turn 4. That's another thing Rosebud has been doing is as they pass you, they bump you.
Oh, and clear a hole. Nice job by the Rosebuds to clear that inside line for Tempest Fugit as she goes through for an easy 4 points there. Genosaurus Rex now fighting her way through that wall of purple as again the blockers are doing their best to hold her up, and she calls off the jam, not after picking up 2 points, but folks, we have a tie game.
Very exciting roller derby happening on this track. Another thing that's happening is that Rosebud, by keeping the pack moving, it makes it a lot harder for Greater Edmonton to stay in formation. It's hard to stay in formation when you're moving, so that helps clear those inside and outside lines. It's a very smart strategy.
Yeah, it certainly does with the way the jammers move back and forth. If you can't hold that tight wall, they're going to find that hole. And speaking of holes, Bratmobile finding a hole on the outside to pick up lead jam up against Lemon Drop. Lemon Drop getting pushed to the outside by Pain Forest.
Shelly Helly helping that as well.
It looks like Wendigo Killam picked a clockwise block penalty up for that, so she sat in the box along with Small Fox Epidemic. I think that's what the name said. I could be wrong.
And it was a battle at the back of that pack. 5 points, natural Bratmobile brings us out of this tie game and a lead change. This is the first lead that Rose City has had since deep into the first period, so quite a travel back for them. 164-159, 13 minutes, 30 seconds left. That is Kaijuk and Genosaurus Rex. And that's a timeout, as we might expect.
Yeah, it looks like Lime wants to gather the troops. We got Coach Lime and Sour Cherry over there on the bench for Greater Edmonton. Gather the troops, get them to refocus, and make sure they start playing their game that actually had them with the lead for most of the game, actually.
And then also, they've just really cleaned up their penalty game as of late. Let me tell you, Greater Edmonton, whenever you give them a penalty opportunity, a jammer in the box, they have converted huge points, 25, 30, 15, 20. You saw them do it over and over again, and that was really helping them. Rose City coming back, got to clean that up, and things turn around when you knock off some of those minutes. We'd like to thank Flat Track Revolution. Flat Track Revolution not only has derby apparel and accessories, but Flat Track Revolution has a fund to help skaters that have been grievously injured in the sport of roller derby. So please check them out, not only for their great products, but for their ethical and charitable stances. Flat Track Revolution, the revolution will be on the flat track.
Genosaurus Rex for Edmonton lining up against Kaijuk on the jammer line. Genosaurus Rex again trying to power her way through, taking a bump from Big Mac, being recycled to the back of the pack, allowing Kaijuk to find that hole and make her way through, picking up lead jam. Genosaurus Rex now battling two skaters out front. Another big hit by Big Mac as Kaijuk picks up the natural grand slam, 5 big points.
Another thing, Rose City's just really started to work on their defensive game, just pouring it on. Big Mac, Tempest Fugit, that 2 wall in front. Kaijuk able to use the line that they were holding to clear her own.
Watching these juniors is just, it makes me excited. The future of Derby is now. It's going to be exciting in a few years to see where these girls get to. So we see Kai Juk through for another 5 big points.
I cannot wait for the day when there will be scholarships given for roller derby. We get to see the... And there's going to be a cut check. Kai Juk, as she came around turn 2, just stepped her toe stop into the inside line, and that is all it takes.
Now it looks like Edmonton is going to have this opportunity. They're 20 points behind, and we talked about how well they've done on the Power Jam today. They're going to have to close this gap with Kai Juk in the box. Janosaurus Rex does not have lead, and she is still on her initial pass, I believe. Rosebuds doing a nice job speeding up that pack, keeping her behind her blockers. Some nice re-engagement by all the blockers, keeping her to the back. And there we go. That's the end of that jam, which will give Edmonton an opportunity to reset and start on this Power Jam.
Yeah, absolutely. Call from the Edmonton box to call the jam, but she had not been awarded the lead jammer. Janosaurus knew that. She's like, I'm not going to do that. I'm just not.
Yeah, and then I stand corrected. That was not her initial pass. She was on a scoring pass, so she picked up 4 points there, but Kai Juk had picked up 4 before she went to the box. They, of course, don't get signaled until the end of the jam, so that was a 19-4 advantage, and we've got a timeout.
Oh, sorry.
Now Edmonton is calling a timeout as they're starting this off on the Power Jam. Probably, about 30 seconds left in that penalty. So they're going to kind of collect their thoughts, figure out what they're going to do. Looks like they're going to put Morgan Mayhem up there on the line to try and close this 20-point gap. They could do it with one Power Jam.
Yeah, but you are absolutely right. Still 20 points separating the two teams, exactly 183-163. About 11 minutes left in the game. We'd like to give a shout out to Salad Shack. Salad Shack is right over here. If you are looking for a breakfast burrito, a great salad, they've got tea, they've got coffee, they've got bagels and cream cheese. Go check out the Salad Shack. It's a great value and great food. I have had a wonderful salad there myself this weekend and can personally recommend it.
And right next door, if you're looking for something a little bit meatier, there are hot dogs, corn dogs, some Italian sausage or Polish sausage on a bun. Right beside the Salad Shack, I believe it is Bill's Hot Dogs. I lost the card, but right beside there, you can check it out. Here we go, Morgan Mayhem on the line, trying to push her way through on this Power Jam. Edmonton girls dropping back into that passive defense. Solid wall by Jesus Feist and Root of All Evil up front, keeping her from making her way through, and Kai Juk out of the box, clean through, picking up lead jam.
That was I think there's a definite strategy for Rosebud right there with Jesus Feist in the front, making it so should Morgan Mayhem start to get away, Jesus Feist has that speed to just catch right up to her.
Yeah, definitely, and they knew they didn't have long on that penalty for Kai Juk left, so they knew if they could keep Morgan Mayhem in there, Kai Juk, chances are she's going to come out of that box, pick up lead, and she certainly did. Morgan Mayhem taking another big hit from Jesus Feist, and she got knocked to the inside, and Feist dropped back, so she's going to get that cut as Kai Juk also picks up a cut. Nice job by Shelly Helly dropping back. So we're going to have a jammer switch out, and this will go for the full 2 minutes.
Yes, indeed. Kai Juk losing that lead jam privilege when she goes to the box. So Morgan Mayhem's going to have a few seconds here to try to convert some points. Clockwise blocking on Jesus Feist.
And Kai Juk out of the box there. Shelly Helly forcing her to come way back at the back of the pack. Morgan Mayhem through. That was her initial pass. And so Kai Juk out of the box and scoring more points. 4 more for the Rose City Rosebuds. Now Morgan Mayhem on her scoring pass, picking up 4 for Greater Edmonton. And that was the full 2 minutes. I believe a 9-4 advantage for the Rosebuds on that jam. 192 for Rose City, 167 for the Edmonton Juniors.
And yes, I thought we might have an official timeout. There's been some discussion around scoring up here, and so they're going to do a little bit of bookkeeping to make sure that we got the score right.
I was like, I didn't know she scored before she made a cut.
And it looks like
might have an update on the score.
A little update. 1 more point awarded to Rose City.
So that's 193 to 167. 8.5 minutes to go. Edmonton still has a definite chance to come back and tie this game and possibly pull ahead. They've been fighting really hard. This is one of the lowest scoring games they have had. So the defense from both teams has been really strong in this game.
Absolutely. Tempest Fugit against Lemon Drop. Lemon Drop out first. Tempest Fugit all the way to the back with Shelly Helly. Big Mac coming in to help.
Morgan Mayhem finding that hole on the inside as the Rosebuds were working on trying to get their jammer free, but there we go, that speed skating. Tempest Fugit just getting down low, coming up on Morgan Mayhem. Lemon Drop, I apologize, getting through, picking up 4 big points for Edmonton. Tempest Fugit also picking up 4 on that scoring pass.
Lemon Drop looking for some more points. But
that actually worked out really well for Lemon Drop. Lemon Drop called it off after picking up an additional 2 points. Tempest Fugit hit that pack, got knocked out, and rolled back in, getting called for the cut.
So now Genosaurus Rex 75 starting in a power start for Greater Edmonton Junior Roller Derby All-Stars.
I like this, a pretty smart move by Edmonton to put out a jammer like Genosaurus Rex to try and counter the strong blocking that they've been getting from the Rosebuds. So Lime calling another timeout, going to try to regroup again. 20 points on this game, 7 minutes, 7 seconds left. Lots of time.
They've squeezed that down for from just under 30 points, so great work right there from Greater Edmonton. Also, please check out the great people at Fast Girl Skates. Fast Girl Skates was the first brick and mortar roller derby store in the world to sell exclusively roller derby gear, skates, and accessories. Fast Girl Skates can be found online at www.fastgirlskates.com. Also, Fast Girl Skates is the designer of the new Rydell Blue Streak skate. So check it out at bluestreakskates.com and get yourself into Fast Girl Skates to try them on along with the other great skates that we offer from Lugino, Crazy, Sure Grip, and Bont. Try them side by side, see which you like best.
All right, timeout is over. So we've got 4-on-4 for the blockers, but we have a power jam as Tempest Fugit sits in the box. Genosaurus Rex out there. She is going to try to power her way through. Gets lead jam. A 4. She hits turn 1. She's getting down. She's going to power through and try and close this 20-point gap. Close to a full minute on that power jam with Tempest Fugit in through for her first 5 points as Shelly Helly is going to be sent to the box. So that's going to give a 4-on-3 pack advantage to the Rosebuds. And as I say that, Small Fox gets sent to the box. So 3-on-3 for the blockers. Genosaurus Rex down on a knee. Of course, Rosebuds got more than 20 feet ahead, forced to let her go, and she picks up another 5 for Edmonton.
Now just 10 points separating the two teams, 198-188, 6:20 left in the game. Root of all evil in the pack, causing trouble. Jesus Feist back in, drops Genosaurus Rex right about turn 1.
Bratmobile coming back with her bridge, getting a little bit of help there. Tempest Fugitive out of the box on her initial pass and does push her way through quite quickly. And that was going to put on those jets to try and make her way through. And Genosaurus Rex calls off that jam. So 13-point jam for Edmonton there. We have a 7-point game with 5.5 minutes left.
Dick, I think I said that I don't think that this game, anyone's going to run away with this game, but even so, this is such a great game. It's going back and forth and people clawing their way back. It is so much fun to watch. In case you thought Junior Roller Derby was not enjoyable or not entertaining, you are crazy and have been living under a rock for the past 3 years.
All right, here we go. We got Kai Juke up against Molly Hatchet. Kai Juke for the Rosebuds, Molly Hatchet for Edmonton. Kai Juke making it through her way through first with a little mini apex jump and getting lead jam.
Molly Hatchet taking a big hit in turn 2. It's a little bit slow to get up, allowing Kai Juke a little more opportunity. Molly Hatchet, though, out. That is her initial pass.
Kai Juke had the grand slam, picked up 5 points on that. I'm not sure Kai Juke realized that Molly Hatchet was coming, but she came up on that wall of pink and decided, yeah, I'll just call it off.
Yeah, there's big blocker advantage right there. 4 blockers against 2. And Greater Edmonton did exactly the right thing. Okay, we're just going to put a wall of 4 in the back and make you think about it. Smart.
So now I think we've got Jesus Feist up against Morgan Mayhem. They've been riding Morgan Mayhem a lot as a jammer, but she seems to have the stamina and is able to hand it. You're seeing no fatigue on these skaters, even though I believe this is Edmonton's 3rd game this weekend. But Jesus Feist through that pack first, powering her way through and picking up lead jam.
She shook off a bunch of good hits from Genosaurus Rex. Slowed her down, but just not enough.
Now Morgan Mayhem through on her initial pass, and Jesus Feist had that strong wall up front, but again, speeding it up, making it harder for those Edmonton girls to hold that line. She takes a look back, sees Morgan Mayhem coming up on her scoring pass, and calls it off.
Jesus Feist paying close attention to her bench. Coaching and time management right towards the end of these games, of the game this close, so very, very important. It's going to be Shelly Helly against Kai Juke.
Shelly Helly almost finding that hole on the inside, but she does manage to push her way through. Kai Juke, though, right hot on her quads. Kai Juke pulling out the speed. I'm not sure if she'll be able to bump Shelly Helly out as Jesus Feist has been doing, but she hits that pack first. Shelly Helly with a bit of a step over the apex.
And big opportunity right now. Kai Juke headed to the box for a back block. This is a power jam for Greater Edmonton. If you're a fan of Greater Edmonton, now's the time to show your love.
That's a big smile on Shelly Helly's face because she knows the opportunity that she has right now. A little bit over 2 minutes left in this game. We have an 11-point game. That would now make it a 6-point game after that pass. Shelly Helly is about to try and make it a 1-point game. A nice job by Edmonton, just kind of trying to split up the defense of the Rosebuds. Shelly Helly fighting through Rosemary's Baby, gets called for a multiplayer block. 5 more points for Edmonton, a 1-point game. 45 seconds left in this jam, 1 minute 40 seconds left. Shelly Helly, another 5 big points.
And they
we
have done
a
it.
Lead change.
Absolutely. fantastic game. One thing's for certain, we will at least have one more jam. But Shelly Helly's trying to make as much distance as she can right now.
And Shelly Helly getting knocked down at the front of that pack. I believe she managed to stay in there. No pack being called. Another 5-point pass. Shelly Helly has lead. Kai Juk out of the box, hitting that pack. Genosaurus Rex giving her a hard time. Big Mac out of nowhere. Sorry, that was ridiculous.
Time out for the Rosebuds. 25-point jam for Shelly Helly. Which makes it, just want to make sure that we've got all the points here. Right now it's a 9-point lead on the board.
After all that action on that, I just had to take a breath for a minute. Some really good defense, some really good hits, and a big push by Shelly Helly to get that lead change. And now this really could go either way. I'm excited to see how this ends up with 9-point difference, 53 seconds left in this game. Timeout by the Rosebuds. So we'll see who they are going to put on the line, who Edmonton's going to come back with for their defense, who they're going to put out as their jammer, and see how these girls battle it out for these last few points.
And let me tell you, the other thing is that both teams paid a lot of price for that last jam. There's a lot of blockers in the box, 2 from Greater Edmonton, 3 because we have 1 standing from Rose City. So the price was being paid. We'll see if it was the right price. I don't know if anybody's sitting in queue.
Yeah, I'm not sure. So yeah, we're going to start this off. It's going to be a 2-on-1 blocker advantage. And we've got an official challenge.
So who would you put as your two players out if you had on Rose City? Would it be Jesus Feist and Tempest Fugit? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
That's exactly what is happening right now. Tempest Fugit out there in a blocking position. Jesus Feist so fast because you're going to need to have a fast skater to get that lead jammer and also to pick up as many points as you can. So Jesus Feist is out there in jammer position. And we got Lemon Drop out there, been extremely effective jammer.
And it looks like we're going to have Shelly Helly and Genosaurus Rex as the 2 blockers for Edmonton.
Who've been incredible,
again, those would have been the 2 that I would have picked as well. Yeah. Lemon Drop has had a really strong game. I'm just enough of the official reviews. I want to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, this is going to be an incredible start. These are the kind of roller derby games that you talk about for years. Just like any other sport that comes down to an incredibly exciting end. Roller derby has really come into its own. And the teams have evened out over the years, so we get to see ends like this rather than the huge blowouts as teams were starting up in the beginning, which is really, really nice to see that roller derby's ingrained itself so much into the world culture, really.
All right, yeah, it definitely has closed the gap. You still see the blowouts because you get some of the new teams coming out and you don't know where to put them as far as who they should be up against. But even in champs, where you saw both the Bay Area and Texas give Gotham a run for their money. They weren't able to beat the hive mind of Gotham, but seeing it that close, you know it's going to happen soon.
Absolutely. All you have to do is just continue to train, play good, clean derby, have some great skaters. And that is what we're seeing here coming up with the junior skaters. Junior skaters showing themselves to be the next great skaters of the next generation as the adults cycle themselves out.
All right, so there was a question where Coach Lime felt one of the skaters. You know what? I'm not even going to explain it. Let's just go. Jesus fights through with lead jam. Lemon drop hot on her quads, giving chase. But no, Jesus Feist takes a cut track penalty. That leaves Lemon Drop as the lone jammer, and she is just going to stop. They have a 9-point lead. There is no reason for her to continue skating. She does not have lead. She will probably sit there for the remaining minute and a half. Or at least minute while Jesus Feist is out there. We'll see if this strategy works out for her, because once Jesus Feist is out of that penalty box, it's still anyone's game, right? But I guess the Coach Lime is telling her to hold back just to prevent getting that penalty. Oh no, okay, so Lemon Drop had lead, waited for the clock. I didn't realize she had lead, waited for the 0. A smart strategic move. Not as exciting of an end as I had hoped for, but overall that was a fantastic game.
At the end of the day, you're out there to win the game. Games can be won with points, they can be won with keeping your penalties down, they can be won with good time management. And it has been so many games when I've been sitting here announcing her as a spectator, banging my head against something very hard going, time management, time management, time management. You don't have to go into that pack. You don't have to risk that penalty. That was smart move in my book from the Greater Edmonton coach.
Oh, it definitely was. It definitely was a smart move. I know a lot of the times the fans will not like it because they don't get to see that skating. But ultimately, this game comes down to wins and losses. And so we're not going to call this game yet because it is not official and it is still a close game. So we'll wait for the official. Currently unofficial final. Greater Edmonton Junior Derby Association All-Stars 216. The Rose City Rosebuds 207.
And again, we're just waiting for the official score because this game was so close.
And it looks like we've got the Calgary Roller Derby All-Stars provincial sisters of the Edmonton Juniors out there to congratulate both teams. Both teams should be congratulated with this game. They both fought hard. Edmonton getting that lead to start off with. Rosebuds clawing back, taking the lead, and then Edmonton again crawling back and regaining that lead.
Both teams have taken their lap, but they are still checking up here at the board. We just want to be careful. Our reputations, such as they are as announcers, ride on this. Mine is not very great.
Yeah, no, my reputation as an announcer, general human being, many other things, it was shot years ago. So,
absolutely, mine as well.